Hello, everybody. Tom Major, are you still a moderator? You still got the little handle thing to be moderating? Kim, you're on here a lot too. I'm gonna make you a moderator if you don't mind. Kim, that's not different, Kim. I'm looking for a Kim Honeycutt. So Tom Major, if you don't mind moderating still. We got my man Dan. All right. Dan, if you want to how do I do this? Dan, I'm going to unmute your mic. Oh, there, choose to mute yourself. All right, so kick from edit mic settings. So Dan, if you are out there and you want to let me know if you want to talk. How do I do? Hold on just a second. I got to figure out how to. Too many puppies with guns in their hands. Too many puppies. All right, hold on a sec. Dan?
Hey.
Hey, now you're live right now on YouTube. Did you want to be?
I didn't have anything to say, but I'm fine testing it out.
Yeah, right on, man.
Yeah.
I'm not. Is this my man Dan with I'm talking about spreadsheets?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, cool. All right, good. All right, sweet. So you are right now live, Dan. Anything you want to ask, say anything? So this is Dan who does the spreadsheets at 55e.co. 55e.co. He is on live with us right now, and I just saw him on the my link for my Subscribe Star people. And Dan, got anything on your mind that you just want to share?
Not really, unless you want to do look at some of the bucket strategy options. I don't know if you were using them, but I don't know if this is the right time to do it either. But
maybe what I'll do one of these days, we'll do a live stream with you. Let's do that, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll do that specifically for you. That's actually a good idea, Dan. We can do a live stream just going over the spreadsheets that you have. Let's do that. All right. If you think of it, I'll leave you on here. If you think of anything, I'll get you off this right here. But if you think of anything, just let me know. We'll pull you back on here. Okay.
Sure thing.
Cool. Right on, man. So I think I got to do that right there. All right, cool. Good stuff. All right. So we are going to, thanks. Oh, there's Kim. All right. So Kim, all right. You change your avatar, Kim. Okay, cool. So I'm going to make you, Kim, a moderator. All right, hold on a second. And then we're going to get, so we got, every time I send an email to people on my email list, and I know we'll get some trolls, and I can't keep up with them. So if you guys could moderate, that'd be great. All right. So while I'm making Kim a moderator, and we got Tom Major a moderator. All right. I want to share with you that if you think the idea of racism is only just begun in the U.S., let me remind you of what Robert Reich said, who was the Secretary of Labor under Clinton. He says, I am concerned, as I'm sure, and this is what he said, testimony to Congress on the administration proposed economic stimulus in 2009. All right, so this is Robert Reich, Secretary of Labor under Clinton. He was with the Obama administration. And yet I'm concerned, as I'm sure many of you are, that these are jobs not simply should go to high-skilled people who are already professionals or to white male construction workers. That's fantastic. So Robert Reich was saying explicitly back then, we don't want jobs to go to white male construction workers, those evil white male construction workers. And Biden's restaurant relief fund says whites need not apply. That's fantastic. Let's see if we can find some here specifically. Anyway, I'm not going to read this whole thing, boy, but it's just, I find it funny that if you're white, they've been after you for a long time. All right, so we know who doesn't have the power in this, and it's certainly not white male construction workers. Just racist. Yeah, I got to tell you, folks, I'm tired of being called that. It literally makes no effect to me whatsoever. We know where the racism is coming from. And, I'm not going to gripe and go, oh, my goodness. I just like pointing it out. And I had a guy on my YouTube channel says, when I said, because they're going after innocent white high school kids up in Hodgington or Hopkinton, Massachusetts, because some sad girl killed herself. She got a bad relationship and she killed herself, and they're trying to blame it as like a lynching on these white people, these white kids, teenagers. And all these, just the Boston version of Al Sharpton's and Jesse Jackson's, all these clowns, Ben Crump are all there. Basically they want these kids strung up. It's no different than the Duke lacrosse thing. And it's evil. It's racist. It's evil. And it should be freaking mocked, laughed at, and stood up against. And of course, the worst thing is the biggest, the SEALs, hey, yay, are the white people who stand, yes, parade white people, way. I want to show that my best friends are black. It's crazy. Anyway, the point being is that this has been going on for a long time, if that makes sense. And, starting with Duke lacrosse, but we had the administration was anti-white from Obama, Biden, and it's the same thing now. And you got to call these people out for racist. So this guy said, Josh, I never knew you had such an ugly side. I said, dude, if you think I care two craps about what a racist thinks about me, you're crazy. I don't care. The days of worrying about what racist people, be it black or white, care about me are done. I'm over it. I mean, I haven't really cared for a long, long time, but neither should you. Because these guys they're evil and they're on the march, and it's fun standing up. And so what happened was we had a big election in Spain. All right, Madrid went right, and I was watching my man Fernando, I forgot his last name, who I interviewed about a year ago on the Modern Survivalist YouTube channel, Modern Survivalist, Fernando, and he was saying mayor of Madrid going right is like DC mayor going to the Republicans. That's how breathtaking that was. That Madrid mayor went right. I was like, damn. UK went right. You take away Scotland, and there's no Labour Party in the UK anymore. It's conservative across the board. Now, I can't stand Boris Johnson. He's a clown, but I can't stand the Labour Party more than I can't stand Boris Johnson. So I'm very happy to see what's happening in the UK. Again, you take away Scotland, there is no Labour Party. And if Scotland goes the way of the SNP, the Labour Party's done. It's freaking awesome. Same thing's going to happen here. Now, I get it. There we got voting as clean as the wind-driven snow. No problems with voting. But it's funny. We got commercials here locally. Our boy Raphael Warnock wants to make sure that no voters are purged from the voter rolls because that's racism and that's Jim Crow and stuff. So they're panicked. They can't have a fair and square election when the right wing is saying, no, we're going to purge the voting rolls from people who are dead and haven't been able to vote for many moons legally. Of course, maybe they still do. I'm not saying that, YouTube. I'm not saying they still do. So it's fun. So it's going to be a good time in 2022, I think. But at the end of the day, it can't just be tax cuts. The Republicans got to offer more than just tax cuts because the taxes aren't that big of a deal to most people. They're just not. You got to fight the wokeness. That's how the Labour Party got smoked. That's how I'm just telling you got to fight the woke. That's what you run on, man. We see city council outside of Dallas that smoked the left. We see the school council. That's what you got to do. All right. So let me. So I am in good mood because I don't like the Republicans, but I hate the left. I hate them. And so I'm in good mood because anytime the Republicans and the right can advance the ball, it's better for the country because the Republicans aren't race-baiting fools and the left is. There's no other way around that. We know that the left hates certain groups of people, be it blacks in the early part of the last century, the latter part of the last century. Now it's whites and, hell, Japanese, Indians and Native Americans in the 1800s, Japanese in the 1940s. The left always hates somebody, and they always got to be defeated because they always hate somebody based on skin color or religion or ethnicity. And the right isn't like that. The right's like, look, man, I just want to be left alone, and I want my taxes less. So the right has a lot of idiots, don't get me wrong, but they're not evil like the left. So anytime the left can lose, it's a good thing for freedom, and it's just a good thing. All right, so let's get into this. Hold on a second. I got to go over here. All right, hold on just a second. Too many puppies. So I'm in a good mood, man. This is good. We're not done yet. Hold on just a second. I did read Zero Hedge today, by the way. And Zero Hedge is kind of like LouRockwell.com. They're good to read. Some of the stuff is bizarre. No different than the New York Times for a lefty. But one of the guys writing on Zero Hedge said that if you take away the bartenders essentially returning back to work, there was no new jobs created last month. I said, that was a great way to put it. I never thought about that. Hold on a sec. All right, so we got Tom. Where'd Kim go? All right. Well, I don't see where you are, Kim, so I can't make you. All right. All right. But that's okay. All right, so let's see what we got here. Question. All right, so Kim says, which channel are you on, Kim? You on my Josh Scalen? Hold on just a second. Roth conversion or wait for the market to dip? No, we never do anything waiting for the market to dip, Kim. That's because you don't know when that's going to happen. And it may never happen. We just don't know. I mean, so you never do anything waiting for the market to dip. So if you're interested in Roth conversion and you've done the due diligence to make sure it makes sense to do, you do it ASAP for sure, in my opinion. All right, you don't wait for the market to dip because there's no way to know if and when that's going to happen. In fact, I'd argue that given that the unemployment numbers actually went up, the jobs did not look like they were supposed to. We don't have to worry about the Fed raising anytime soon. And remember, don't fight the Fed is usually rule 101 with stock investing. Rule 1, I just saw 101. You don't fight the Fed. So if the Fed's going to raise, you don't get involved in buying stocks. You wait for the Fed to raise, and then you get into it. If right now the Fed isn't certainly talking about raising, and as such, there's no impetus that the markets would fall because of the Fed raising rates. That's not going to happen. Not with the market, not with the job market the way it was this week. I can't find. All right, well, that's weird, man. I can't find her. That is strange. All right, I guess I can't get you on here. That is weird. So don't wait for the markets to fall. All right, Roth conversions are confusing. Maybe. Hello, Lydia. Tom says he doesn't know. I don't know what my expenses are, and I don't know how much money I've saved. Can I retire? Yes, you can. You can retire. All right. Can I tell you what the stock market is going to do for the next 30 years? I'm fine if you can only manage 20. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. We know that. I learned that from Charles Schwab, actually. The markets will go up and go down. All right. Marco Chips says he's 57, no debt, and he has roughly 500,000 in a 401k, 460,000 in lump sum. Can I retire? He spends $55,000 a month. I mean, I can't say if you can or cannot retire, but if you're spending $5,000 a month and you got roughly $1 million and between two retirement accounts, and you're going to have Social Security as well. I mean, there's his monthly expenses. I don't know how you couldn't make that work. Let's put it this way. Actually, do I still have this on here? Oh man, I got rid of it. Someone sent me a decent. Shoot, I guess I got rid of it. Someone has sent me a pretty decent calculator I liked. But I was going to show it to you. All right. We got can retire at 58. So again, could who be a troll, Roy? Could you be a troll? Yeah, Roy, you've been around long enough to, qualify for being a troll. I have monetized the videos. Thank you, Connie, and thank you, Kim. Hello, James. Hello, Mary. All right, Cobra Kai says, I'm thinking about early retirement. Mary, give us a real estate update. What's going on up there in the Northeast corridor? We still booming? Are we still seeing a pushback to some regard? Well, it seems like there's going to be. I don't know. Maybe it's just not in the news as much, but it seems like there's been a reduction of frenzied about real estate, at least in terms of news that I follow. So I don't know if that means anything. It just seems like that's what I'm seeing. It seems like it's kind of leveled off some. 45, think about early retirement. If I retire early, will that lower my Social Security even if I wait till 70? Yes. I got videos on what happens to my Social Security if I stop working at 50, at 55, and 60. Absolutely. Hey, I got a guy from Facebook on here. Sweet, it's working. I was going to say I'm doing oh, wait a second. I didn't know that's how it worked like that. Okay, cool. So basically, we got my man Herbert Walker Bush is on here from Facebook. So this is my first time streaming on Facebook. Real quick, let me explain what I'm trying to do here. I think the next 2 years are going to be hugely beneficial for the independent thinking people. I think the corporate wokeism is ticking enough people off that they're waking up and they're kind of like, like the Simpsons when they go outside when it's sunlight and they're like, whoa, I didn't know it was a sun. I don't know if you've ever seen the episodes, but they're all sitting around inside playing computer games, watching TV. And then something happens where they just all go outside for the first, and they like rub their eyes, and then it's everyone's just playing and having fun. It's great. You know what I'm saying? Being outside is wonderful. Even with COVID, it's still good to get fresh air. Crazy. I have a sneaky suspicion there are going to be many people wake up and they're going to say, enough of this crap, man. I don't want to be in corporate America. This is nuts. And you see it already pushed back with Coke. You can see it with Major League Baseball and stuff. The problem is the CEOs and the HR people are left wing. There's no they do the bidding of the Biden administration. The CEOs give it to their HR reps to bring on idiots like Robert DeAngelo and Abraham Kendi and all these fools. These are race hustlers. No other way around that. And so what's going to happen? People are going to. Look, I see it all the time. I hear it all the time. People say, "Man, I don't want to hear this crap." You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear this crap anymore. And as such, people are going to say they're going to start. So it's going to whoa, it is safe out there, safe outside, safe to retire. And I got a feeling there's a lot of people on Facebook because I've haven't been on Facebook for 2 years that need to hear, that the water is warm. You see what I'm saying? I do think there is a number of people that when they hear it and they see, like my man Marcos, whatever that guy's name was. Dude, if you only need $5,000 a month and you got $1 million roughly, and at some point you have $2,500 a month in Social Security, if you can't make that work, I don't know what to tell you. Because he can make that work. That's a fact. So I got a feeling a lot of people need to hear that, because then they can say, I don't want to go into this crappy old job anymore. And let me tell you, I'm going to go down, and I got a guy in Georgia. I'm going to show you something here, who texted me. I'm going to buy a half a cow from him. And if I can show you, yeah. Let's see if I can. So here's.
Hey Josh, this is just sort of a preliminary view of the main houses on this lease. I've known these guys for years, the whole family. I don't know if you can see it over there. It's the hayfield.
Anyway, so this guy's going to be doing some serious cattle ranching, essentially, down there. And he just quit his crap little job a few years ago to do that. He's got his first kid coming up, and I got another guy email me the same thing today. He wants to quit his crap little job and go work a farm with a tractor. It's friggin' awesome, man. Anyway, so I'm going to go. So I'm buying a half a cow from him. He's doing his first run this year, and it'll be next year he'll get them. And I'm going to go down there in the summertime, and I'm going to interview him. Say, how did you end up doing this? Why? Blah, blah, blah. I'm sure it's the same thing. Everyone hates corporate America. People who love corporate America are HR people. Everyone else, and then the wokesters, you know what I'm saying? And everyone else hates it. Everybody knows they do. And the freedom that you find from getting the hell out of there is going to be wonderful. So anyway, with this guy right here, perfect example, guy who's trying to start something, and it may or may not work. I don't know, but not to try is not, it's the parable of the talents, man. Don't hide your talents under a bushel. No, you got to let it shine. And so anyway, as such, this is why if people are wondering, why are you doing it on Facebook? Because there's a bunch of people I can reach on the enemy's territory and maybe pull them out of the great abyss of corporate. Corporate America is bad. It all stems from the government. I get it. But still, corporate America is bad. And remember, politics is downstream from culture, if that makes sense. So as the culture begins to swing away from the wokeism, and it hasn't happened enough yet, but as it does, I think a lot of people are going to be looking for a way to free themselves from the chains of corporate wokeism, and I want to be there for them for sure. All right, so anyway, that's cool. I guess we're on Facebook. That's fantastic. All right. Hey, Jill. All right, so Jill's back. So Jill, if you you got that link. If you want to jump on in here, ask a question or anything like that, let me know. I don't know about a new age of conservatism. We'll see. The so-called conservatives. I don't really. We'll see who emerges from that, if that makes sense. Marie says your video on firing your advisor has some nice comments. At what point in dollar value does one's portfolio for a break even? Okay. At what point in dollar value of one's portfolio for a break even do you get an advisor who normally charges 1%? At what point in dollar value of one's portfolio for a break even? I'm not following what you're saying there, Marie. So if you want to put that down there, I'm not sure what you're asking me there. Let's see if she's asking. All right. I'm not sure what you're saying. Sorry, Marie. Brad says, when you withdraw from 401k, do they automatically deduct 20% taxes? They shouldn't. I think some do. I think it's really specific, Brad, on the firm actually, but they don't have to. That's for sure. They don't. Eric's on Facebook too. Right on. So Eric, you're on here on Facebook and on, are you on YouTube too, or just on Facebook? And Eric, just, all right. So Eric, that's the same Eric. So is Eric, so are you watching this on Facebook and you can see it just as well as on YouTube? I've never done it on Facebook before, so that's cool. They got rid of Trump. They got what they want. Now the fake opposition resume. Yeah, Pulverizer, I know where Pulverizer is coming from. Pulverizer doesn't trust the Republicans as far as he could kick them. But look, I agree to some regard. And I hate the false dichotomy. So Pulverizer would say there's a false dichotomy. There's the right and the left, but they're both the same thing, the uniparty. The Republicans and Democrats are both the same thing. I truly believe that. The DC Republicans and Democrats, I really believe that. The DC Republicans and Democrats are the same thing. There's really no difference between the two. And this is what I'm stressing, that the Republicans got to learn a lesson from the left is we always thought, because Republicans are more, I hate to say follow the rules, but we are. This is why the Republicans have this unadulterated just trust in the powers that be it the police, be it the authorities, be it Fauci, be it you see what I'm saying? We just do, and we just it's painful to witness. And I told you one time when I was on a jury, and they arrested this Spanish lady, Mexican lady in San Antonio for drunk driving, and she wasn't drunk. And they threw a thing on marijuana with her, and she didn't have, it was her freaking boyfriend. Anyway, the whole point was they said, well, you weren't drunk, but we found you with dope. And she goes, I didn't know he had dope. And the whole point was they should never pulled her over to begin with. There's no probable cause. I mean, their probable cause was that they thought she was drunk. I say, no, she was not. You saw the whole thing on body cam. The problem was that we had these two crusty old white guys who were they said the cops would never do anything wrong. I said, have you ever never? And look, I support the police. I mean, I do by default, but I don't support the police when they're wrong. No way. In this case, and I'll never forget, short-haired white guy, Christian, you know what I'm saying, 4 kids, and I worked at USAA, military veteran, and I'm sure I didn't get struck because the prosecutor, which is a woman, thought I was going to be in favor of the prosecution. And I said, no, there's no way I'm voting to freaking find this lady guilty. No way. Because they had no probable cause. None. She wasn't drunk. They just, I mean, I'm not going to go with racial profiling, but, in some ways it was. I mean, they saw this lady driving, it was late at night, and they said, let's see what's going on there. And, I'm not accusing, I don't know. But either way, she should never have been pulled over. In a free society, she's not pulled over because she did nothing wrong. And also, I think they should legalize all drugs anyway, so I don't give 2 craps the guy was smoking dope. It matters not to me. Anyway, at the end of the day, though, what happened? The 2 guys were holdouts, and we had a hung jury. They just were just like this, and just like the cops would never do wrong. I said, man, just wait, buddy. Wait till they come to your house for COVID. When they say you're violating COVID laws, just wait. You don't know what's going on in Ontario right now, fools. I said, you've never been falsely accused. Oh, they'll never happen. I said, yeah, you wait. You're going to quickly turn. Anyway, going back to Pulverizer. Pulverizer is a guy who agrees. He said, look, it's a false dichotomy between the right and the left. And I agree with that. However, there's a lot of wonderful things that happen in the states that come up. Actually, a lot of the time is on both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans. There's a lot of stuff that comes up that finds its ways in national. School choice is the perfect example of that. Homeschooling, another perfect example of that. Legalizing marijuana, legalizing gay marriage, all that. It comes from the states. It doesn't come top down. And so at the end of the day, the first thing we have to do is we got to arrest the march of the far left. That has got to be dealt blow. I mean, and look, even if we get freaking Mike DeWine, I don't give two craps about that clown, but I'd much rather have Mike DeWine putting a brakes on the wokes than freaking have the woke take over things. You see what I'm saying? We cannot have racism permeating through society. It's evil, it's ugly, and it's satanic. Hey, I got a thing on Facebook. Look at that. I didn't know you could do that. That's cool, man. By my man Ray Anderson. Don't know him, but right on, Ray. I didn't know you could do that. So you got to be able to freaking stop the left first, and then you could move on and advance the right. So anyway, Wisconsin greetings from Eric. Right on. All right, so we got Gene. What are the parameters for RMDs? I've searched IRS websites and I can't find the numbers. Well, right now it's 72 years old, and I think they got the new table coming out for RMDs coming out. When are they coming out? I'm not sure when they're coming out, frankly, but they will have new numbers coming out for RMDs here shortly. We do know that. So it's 72 years old. I would still use, it used to be divided your December 31st of the year in which you turn 72 by 27.4. That is the number that's going to be changed. So if you had 100,000, I don't have my calculator, man. If you had 100,000 schmackers and you were 72 on December 31st, whatever the year previous, you would take $100,000, divide that by 27.4, and that's the amount you would have to take out as a minimum. I don't know why we need a table for that. I'd say at the end of the day, you should be pulling more out of that account anyway. Don't just pull the bare minimum, especially if you're married. If you're married, Gene, there's absolutely no excuse for just pulling out the bare minimum. You can find an excuse, but it better be legit, and there's a lot is not. A lot of those excuses, I'm just going to defer. Dumb, don't do that. If you could find a how to roll over, okay, so how to roll over a 401k without an advisor. Okay, that's pretty easy, actually, Marie. So, I mean, we just need a distribution request form. All right, so two things you need. You got to have an IRA open. An IRA, 401ks needs to go to IRA. So you have an IRA opened, and it'll say Marie L., Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, account number 123456778. All right, and it'll say, and that's it. That's an IRA, and it might say FBO is say for benefit of. So Charles Schwab, FBO, Marie L., account number 12345. All right, so we got Bob. I see that. You got to connect your mic and cam before I can add you to the stream, Bob, if you want to ask a question. If Bob is on here. Anyway, so then you get a distribution request form from your previous employer. It's just a piece of paper, and you tell the thing, you say, I am Marie L. from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I want to roll over my 401k to my account. And you sign it and you send it in. And now what they'll ask in the instructions are, do you want to withhold taxes? And I'd say, no, there's no reason to withhold taxes. And that's it. It's really that simple. So what happens is at your IRA, we'll just use Schwab, for example, at your IRA provider, they'll receive that check. Usually it's a wire or electronic transfer anymore. And, in a couple of days, you wake up and you have $100,000 in cash money at Schwab. And an IRA. It's literally that simple. Look, it's simple because I've done it a million times. It's not simple if you haven't done it a million times. So here's what I would suggest. I would call Schwab. I say, hey, Schwab, this is Marie. And don't forget, if you use my link on Schwab, you can get, I think it's like $250. I don't get any money. But if you open an account at Schwab and you fund it with like $5,000, I think they give you $250. It's crazy. I think I've had a couple people. I've had every time someone uses that link, and I got to find it. I get a card from Schwab saying, thank you for your referral. I was like, that's great, Schwab. Give me some money, man. Give me some money. But either way, so if I'll find, I'll get it later on. But if you find the link from Schwab they have, and you open up an account, you call them up, say, hey, this is Marie. I'm going to roll over a 401k to Charles Schwab. What do I need to do? They'll walk you through it. No big deal. It doesn't cost anything. Easy as pie. He starts talking smack, and my man Ronnie D, pulverizer. We have to pulverize you. I say that jokingly, YouTube algorithm. I love Ronnie D. Ronnie D and the boys. Ooh, you know what Ronnie D's middle name is? Ronnie James. Holy diver. You know what I'm talking about? Ronnie D. You know, Ronnie James Dio died, so Ronnie D is it will live in infamy for Ronnie James Dio. We got Ronnie DeSantos Dio. There you go. All right. Google sucks. 2 years of stop for 2 years of retirement and stopping 401k. I'm gonna open my window. Hold on just a second. It's a little bit hot air in here because Pulverizer talking smack on my man Ronnie James DeSantis. Hold on just a second. Holy diver. We got crisp 45 degrees here this night. Freaking put some onion seeds in there and they're just not sprouting. It ticks me off, man. I was like, come on, I cannot wait to grow onions from seeds. I've never been good at onions from seeds, so I've done a good job of making sure they stay, wait until well beyond the last day of frost and making sure they're warm. And I should have started them inside. I dropped the ball. All right. 2 years to retire and stopping 401k contributions. Should I still put 5.6K in to get a match or stop completely? You should get the match. 100%. I mean, if it takes you $5,600 to get a $1,400 match, you should get that. And no one should ever tell you to turn down $1,400. That's crazy talk. So definitely take the match. Paw the like button, says Chicken Charlie. Right on. My dogs are with other people right now. All right. Michael Ball says, I'm a civil servant, have been one since 2006. My TSP was boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, so this is a tough one, man. All right, so he's been a G fund since 2008. What should he do with it now? I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, Michael. I mean, no way I'm touching that 10-foot pole. I just tell you right now, if you got out in the crash of 2008 and it's 2021, you haven't got back in. If anyone says you should get back in now, I would never take that as a client. Tell that right now, simply because that shows a lack of faith in the markets, and as such, to buy in now after the market had the longest run for 12 years, there's nothing but liability on the advisor side. If I was an advisor, I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. I cannot lie to you. That I hate to sound bad to you, but if you got out in 2008 because the markets are going down, it's been 13 years since, and you're just now contemplating getting back in, what should you do? You're a risk to any advisor. There's no way I touched that. I had a guy who paid me my fee at $2,500. I said, I can't take it, man. No way. Because he had a question along those lines. And he was pissed at me. He was a good guy too. So I'm not touching this 10-foot pole. I can't win. I can't win in that regard. And if there's any advisor that's watching this, you can't take a client like this. I know this sounds bad, but look, man, you have all the risk if you're an advisor. Let's just say you tell Michael to go in the markets, the market falls 25%. Who do you think is going to be blamed? And ideally, who do you think an arbitration is going to go against? It's going to go against you. Let's just say you tell Michael to hang you wrote it down the G fund for all these years, might as well ride it out. And the market goes up another 50%. Who do you think he's going to blame? He's going to blame you. That's just what happens. These people like this want someone to blame because they took it upon themselves to make a bad call. And they need someone to blame, and you cannot. So any advisor out there, you cannot take someone like this as a client. You can't. The risk, there's no upside for you other than maybe quick money if they're going to pay you. I cannot stress this enough. Don't do it. It's bad. You got to go with people who have faith in the overall situation of the markets. And if people have shown a significant lack of faith, basically based on politics, you can't get involved in that. And I know it sounds like I'm bashing this guy. I probably am. I frankly don't all that care that much because I know what it's like to be on the other side of an arbitration, and it sucks, man. And it's especially when you're innocent as can be, when people are looking for someone to blame, and that happens all the time. And the sad thing is, we're never going to get another 12 years like we just had. And this guy just missed out on significant wealth because he got scared and couldn't get back in. And now he wants to hear advice on what to do. man, hell, I'm trying to make sure people don't get killed because the market's so high. The last thing I want to take is a freaking risk and say, hey, no way. All right, got a super chat. Thanks, man. What's your thoughts on tax managed mutual funds? So Dylan, that's a good question. Dylan says, if I can put that on the screen. Why can't I put that on the screen? Oh, there we go. There's my man Dylan. All right, so this is a super chat. So if you want to get front to the queue and you want to pay me money because I'm a greedy rat think, you do like my man Dylan is, give me a super chat. Now that $4.99, Google takes 40%, I take 60%. So just FYI, but that's cool. It's all good. Anyway, my man Dylan says, "What's your thoughts on tax managed mutual fund in a taxable account to reduce risk of growth ETFs?" To reduce risk of growth ETFs. I don't get. I don't get it. What does a tax managed mutual fund have to do with reduced risk of growth ETFs? That doesn't make any sense to me. So we have growth ETFs that are risky. I'm thinking you're talking about volatility, and they got tax managed mutual funds. I'm not seeing, unless you have to elaborate, because those two things are, I don't want to say they're mutually exclusive, but one does not mean another, if that makes sense. All right. Let's keep going here. All right. Cato says, as of today, markets closed. I've doubled my portfolio with since 2016. The power. Well, man, this is what frustrates me about that other guy. When you're putting money in on a regular basis, who gives a rat's butt what the market does? This is. And my man Eric, you know who I'm talking about. If you're putting money in on a regular basis, it's never as bad as what you think, because you're still funneling money in. But I'm sending good money after bad. You're not. I mean, you could be, but the history of our capital markets, it hasn't happened like that. Now, it could. I get it. We could get the Bolsheviks. I 100% get that. But man, if you're just adding money to your portfolio each and every paycheck, I do twice a month. I put $1,000 in. 1,000 goes to VBK. I thought it was all VTI, but it's not. This is how much I follow my investments. I just don't. I thought I had everything going to VTI. I don't. So $1,000 a month goes to VTI. $1,000 a month goes to VBK. Boink, boink. That's what I do. My investments. Boink, 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 boink. VBK fell 11% in 3 months time or something like that. I haven't even noticed, A, because I don't check, and B, because I'm plugging money in on a regular basis. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just plugging. And I also, so when you're doing that, you're just plugging. You don't notice nearly the extent of the up and down as what the markets would say, because you're putting money in. And that's the only way to make money, is you got to be in there, man. You got to be in there. And if you're accumulating money, who gives a care if the markets go down? Why do you care? You're not pulling it out. If you got enough for emergency fund for 2 years, let's just use 2 years. The 6 months is fine, but let's just say you had 2 years, 6 months to 2 years. I like 2 years, maybe a year in cash, simply because that means if you got laid off, you got a year for expenses. So we'll split the difference and say a year. Say you got a year in emergency funds and you lose your job and the markets fall 30% simultaneously. Well, that sucks. But if you have the cash over here on the side, man, you don't need to spend down a portfolio that's down 30%. And let's just go back to $100,000. All right, you got $50,000 in emergency fund. You got $100,000 in your 401k. I'm just using this for simplicity. You get laid off because Robert Reich doesn't want white construction workers, as he said in 2009, and they don't like white people, so we're laying them off. All right, as Robert Reich said, not me. Robert Reich, Department of Labor, Secretary of Labor. He said that. Anyway, which is the irony of it all, is Robert Reich is white, even though I guarantee he's never lifted a hammer in his life. But anyway, so you got 50,000 savings, 100,000 in your 401k. You get laid off. The very next day, the market falls 30%. All right, so now you got 70,000 in your 401k, 50,000 in savings. You need 50,000 to live on. You live off your savings. I mean, it's literally just that simple. Now, the market may or may not go up by a year from now, but it's not like you lost all of your money. You're down to 30%. Whip-de-flip and do. Will the market fall another 30%? It's never happened before. It's never happened. Let's look at history now. We're going to look at history so if you're working, I don't get this whole thing where you got to be out of the market if I'm working. I just don't understand. And so we're going to share my screen here. We're going to share, speaking of Dan Culbert's YouTube thing here, not his YouTube, his spreadsheets at 55e.com, 55echo.com. We're just going to pull up the S&P 500, right? So we're going to pull up the S&P 500, and we're going to go back to 18. We're going to do total number of years. Y'all can see that. Yeah, okay, sweet. And we're going to go back to total number of years. All right. And hold on just a second. Start year. We're going to try to go to 1871. Oh, I guess we'll. Oh, it's a matrix book. I don't want the matrix book. Hold on, just I want that. I want this. S&P 500. There we go. All right, so let's go back to 1871. And blank. Huh. Can only go back to 19. Huh. Only goes back to 1927, Dan? Am I using the wrong thing here? Let's zero this out. Zero that out. And I want to go back to 1871. Why is it not going back that far? Hold on just a second, everybody. Let's go to 0. Okay. Let's go here. All right. S&P 500 right there, matrix. Let's only go back to 1927. There we go. Okay, sweet. All right, sweet. So let's go back to 1871, S&P 500, and we're going to see, do we ever had any 3 consecutive years or 2 consecutive years of 30 plus? Nope. And you see the red, negative. Nope. 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 Only time close would be what? 1929, 30, right here. 1930 and 31. That's it. But guess what's also going on there? Deflation. Price per goods were dropping by 2.3%, 9%, 9.9% respectively. So we had no inflation whatsoever. So in this regard, this was down less than 20%, about 20%. This was down 30, about 35%. This was down about 20%. And this was actually up when it comes to inflation, which no one ever talks about, by the way. And then we had the following year is up with net of inflation, 61%, by the way. All right, let's keep going. We had 32% in 1937. Nope. At 8, 9%, no big deal. Drop the bucket. 12, nothing. Then in 73 and 74, look at that, 15 and 27%. So now we're 100 years in. We've had, basically 2 significant events of any significance of big market declines, and then we go to 2001 and 2. Right there, 2001 and 2. And that's basically the third one. Then we had 2008, which is actually October 2007 to March of 2009, where the market got hammered. But where I'm going with that is not nearly the extent, if I'm working, that I would say I need to get in my money in safety. If you're working, you just can't do that, man. You can't. Now, if you want to avoid some of that, well, you split it, man, middle of the road. Like the Wellington Fund I talk about a lot, the Fidelity Balance Fund for sure. But anyway. All right, so Steven says, what is the best way to get my 18-year-old daughter started investing for retirement? She has a job that pays about $5,000 a year, has already put $3,000 in a Roth for 2020. Sounds like she's already doing it, man. So freaking kicking ass and taking names. I mean, the best way is... You're already doing it, man. So if RMDs move, my man John, if RMDs move out, would that impact Roth conversion strategy? I don't do any Roth conversion. Oh, I see what you're saying. Before you hit RMDs. No, because the strat, not really. I mean, at the end of the day, Roth conversions aren't contingent on RMDs, if that makes sense. The let's just say we got a guy who's 60 years old and he thinks he has 12 years to do Roth conversions because then RMDs come in. And he doesn't want to get double dipped with RMDs and Roth conversions. All right, we'll just say we're going to do 50,000 a year Roth conversions. We'll just use that for an example. He wakes up, he's 72 years old. He's got a $25,000 RMD, required minimum distribution. Well, you don't do a 50,000 Roth conversion, you just do a 25,000 at that point. So it's 50,000 is taxable income to him for taking money from his IRA and converting it to his Roth. That makes sense. So in this case, he's like, okay, I'm taking it from my IRA, converting it to my Roth, 50,000 a year. Now I'm 72 years old. I got 25,000 I would have to take out, which I cannot convert to my Roth. So I'll just do another 25 to my Roth, if that makes sense. So, I mean, in some regard, but all right, we got another super chat. My man, Marie, thanks for the advice. Oh, did you follow up that question, Marie, about what you were saying about, I didn't understand your other question about the, the breaking even. Let's see if you had mentioned anything down here, Marie. You got it, Marie. Anyway, she asked something. I wasn't quite sure what she was saying, so I'm not sure what she. Yes, right here. Disappointing jobs report means Fed will keep rates at zero and keep buying bonds. My man Harry, I agree with 100%. All right, retired says biggest. Yeah. Josh, the biggest. Look, I love the G fund. There's no one who's a bigger fan of the G fund than me, without question. The G fund is the best stable value fund you can ever find. But the G fund is not the C fund. It's just not. It's certainly not the S. And so the problem with the G fund is that it's guaranteed. But it breaks my heart because I've heard stories like this a million times with Sunday's guys where people get out of the market back then and they have yet to get back in. It breaks my flipping heart. It does. As an advisor who's been through the grinder with clients who have broken my heart because of, it's just look, anytime you're an advisor, you cannot help but be a paranoid SOB in some regard because people are always looking for people to blame. There's no other way around that. And as such, you just got to be careful, man. But a lot of people go to the G fund because it's safe, it's guaranteed. Well, it just kills me. I just think of all the upside that was missed. And sadly, what's a guy going to do now? He's going to jump back in now? It's sad. This just sucks. There's no other way around that. I missed a lot of comments. Sorry, guys. So I went down to find Marie's comment, and now I missed some. So if you had asked, I'm starting with Mark Heffling here. If you had asked or Dave Howe, if you had asked a question previous to this, I missed it, so ask it again. All right, so Nat, what's the best stock or crypto to make money fast? All right, let's get this guy out of here because I have no idea. All right, so my handlers there, Tom and I guess Lydia's still on here, and I can't remember if I was able to make Kim a moderator. Anyone says stuff like that, just ban them. That's not for me. What do you think of J.L. Collins' theory? 80% total stock index, 20% in long-term bond index, pull down 4% a year. Hey, it did come back. Hey, all right. So all those comments did. What happened, man? That was weird. Wait, no, they didn't. All right. So I'm not sure what's happening here. All right. Yeah. Weird. Okay. So I'm not sure what's going on in the comments, but all right, let's check it out. 80% total stock, 20% bond, long-term bond fund, pull 4% a year off. I don't like the 4%, but I like it a hell of a lot better than paying 1% a year. Absolutely. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, I did a video on this, is how to non-confrontationally fire your advisor. And I think what I say, Dave, is I'd say, okay, here's my expenses. You are in the top 5, and I'm trying to eliminate things that are in my top 5 unless there's a real need for them to be in my top 5. Ooh, I want to share the comment with you guys. This is actually kind of made me chuckle a little bit. We got Annie Taylor Smith. I think she's in Georgia, by the way. The Entrepreneur's Guide to Start and Succeed in a Farming Enterprise by Joel Salatin. Yeah, absolutely. I got this book from Back Home's Garden on chickens. This right here, I cannot wait, because we used to have chickens when I was growing up. My mom and my dad, we used to have chickens, and we used to get the eggs from there. And so chickens, I cannot wait to start. We're not going to do them in this here, but I mean, I was listening to a guy the other day. He was saying freaking a chicken lays like 1 or 2 eggs per day, and I eat a crap load of eggs. Eggs, the best food going, man. And the fact that the U.S. government told us not to eat eggs just shows you how evil those fools are. But anyway, so chickens for Back Home. I did a video, not a video. I told people you could get this book. It's on sale. Chickens from Backwoods Home, backwoodshome.com, backwoodshome.com. And I also got one on goats. This is just a little one. I don't think I'll ever do goats. I'll do chickens. And I'm not that aggressive, and I like gardening, but I'm not sure I want to. Goats are fun. Oh my goodness. All right. Anyway, so we used to raise chickens a lot when I was a kid. I remember going back and getting the eggs from my mom, and then they stopped. I don't know why. I guess they got divorced. That's why they stopped. All right. My man Big E from Bernie, Texas says no CRT on our watch. Right on. That's good. And look, this isn't an anti-teacher thing. It's I will tell you, the teachers' unions are evil. The teachers are not. It's no different than a lot of unions. A lot of the unions are bad. The union members are not. And this is where Republicans need to wake the hell up and stop bashing the union. Don't come across like you're bashing the union members. Bash the big union people. I'm telling you, the Richard Trumkas of the world, the freaking Randy Weingartners, these fools. But the union members, and also don't bash government employees. It drives me flipping crazy. A lot of government employees are conservative as the day is long. Stop bashing these people, man. Yes, there's lowest learners, and there's some freaking idiots out there. Welcome to the world, man. There's lots of idiots out in every enterprise. Every small business has its own enterprise, own idiots. But there's so many freaking right-wing conservatives who are federal employees and state employees. You just can't bash them. You just got to say, look, at the end of the day, we got to get rid of woke stuff because it is literally creating a hostile environment for white people. That's just a fact. That's all you got to do. And then you go after the union heads, the freaking government bureaucrat heads. That's what you go. You go after these people. But you protect the employees. You protect women's sports, for instance. But you don't go after the people that are the Republicans just need to take a page out of the Democratic playbook. That's all there is to it. All right. What's the best way to pass your modest home to your kids? The best way to pass your modest home to your kids is you just leave it in a will. I mean, you leave it in a will. You say whether these quit claim deeds, I think it depends on county. There's some guy had, I was going to show you this a comment some guy had. Some guy had posted that there, like in his county or his state, there's a way to pass it without going to probate. It's almost like a transfer on death arrangement, which I had never heard of, but I guess this county specific is a TOD for houses. I had never heard that, but he said it's true. I said, okay, I didn't validate it, but just a will to say, at the end of the day, my will, Miss Maria here, she has a will. My will says I want to leave it. When I die, I want my, freaking Joey and Jamie to get my house 50-50. That might be a problem if Joey and Jamie don't see eye to eye, but that's easy. Look, my wife had 8 brothers and sisters. When her mom died, she essentially was the executrix. Not really. Her brother was kind of like the oldest was kind of that, but my wife kind of did the paperwork and all that. And they all came to agreement to sell the house for basically going whatever they could get for it. You know, there's 9 of them though, and 1 or 2 thought they could have got a lot more than was realistic, but they got overruled. The others said, let's just sell this and move on, and that's ultimately what happened. So, you know, you just got to say in your will what you want to happen. I'd say if I have 2 kids and maybe they don't see eye to eye, I'd say sell it, and or if Janie wants to hold it and Joey does not, Janie, you buy out Joey's you get a realtor to give your price for it, and you buy Joey out or something like that. That's what you do. All right. I haven't heard anything about the CARES Act too. I haven't heard anything of it. So I literally have not heard nothing of it, Chicken Charlie. So I don't know, man. Oh man, burnt your hamburgers? Just like a Wisconsinite, we don't burn our burgers in Georgia. All right. What's your thoughts on tax manage? Oh, we were talking about that. Okay. Yeah, we talked about that. Andrew says, what do you think about Exxon run up this week? Has Exxon had a run up this week? So let's take a gander. Exxon run up this week. Hey, get my reading glasses. All right. Why does Biden hate Indians, by the way? Why does Biden hate Indians? Not Native Americans, but Indians from India. Republicans, why don't you hammering Biden on that? Oh, my goodness. You know how many Indians are here who are eager to vote for Republicans if you gave them a reason to do it? Exxon's at 62. Holy smokes. Yay. Yeah, I have no idea, man. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they're what Exxon's going on. I am kind of bullish on metals and commodities. Yeah, Scott. I was going to do a video on this a couple weeks ago. I saw a great article and I couldn't find it, and I was like, damn, I just forgot. But yeah, I'm 100% bullish on metals and commodities without question. They haven't done anything, my understanding. If you're looking, I just don't pay that much mind. It just, most of the stuff bores me, but I do think there are areas of the markets that look appealing, and that is one of them for sure, without question. So I am bullish on that. Now, does that mean I have a specific fund you should buy? No. Does that mean I even know which metals or commodities? No. But I'd take a flyer in a commodities ETF. Absolutely. Marie says, find the link. Oh, for the Schwab thing. Okay, yeah. Let me go ahead and I have a couple things I want to find here. All right, so hold on just a second. We're going to open up. All right, one sec. We're going to go to YouTube. And we're going to go to my channel. Oh, man. I'm competing against Salty Cracker. He's live right now. I don't know if you follow that guy, Salty Cracker. He cracks me up, man. How dare you? He's so racist. I don't think he is. I think people just are shocked when people from the right don't care anymore what people from the left say. And the minute the people from the right speak just what normal people speak, they immediately say, we haven't heard people from the right talk like that. You must be racist. That's stupid. And I'm glad to see people from the right not caring anymore. It's such a wonderful thing. I've been waiting for this for a long, long time. Equitable treatment but for all is a wonderful thing, which means everyone has a right to say whatever the hell they want. And if you don't like it, go away. Whoa, that's crazy. All right, so let's find Schwab. I can find my Schwab link. Hey, right here. It's $500. Holy smokes. All right, so I will find the link right here, and I'm going to put it on here. And this is my link for the video, Marie, and I'm gonna put it here. You can make $500. Oops. Hold on a second. What the hell is that? Copy link. Come on, man. Ah. There it is. All right, so there's the link. I just put the link in there. That means you, at least it was that you could go to Schwab, open an account via that link, and make $500. And I just got a card last week from someone who did that. I don't know if it's still $500, but you know, man, crazy not to do that. All right, so I want to share with you guys something on a video I did yesterday about how to fire your financial advisor. So let's all right, right here. Okay, I want to share with you guys this guy's comment. Cracks me up. Is this it right here? I think so. We're gonna go to comments. Let's see if we get up here. All right, good. So we're gonna go to comments. I haven't answered. And right here, I pinned it because I thought it was funny. All right. Yeah. All right. So this is what this guy, what professional advisor feels about you. This is a Jake 500, I guess. Josh, if they could do it themselves, they would. Fact of the matter is they don't want to. They don't have time. They have busy lives and they want to enjoy life. Quit the my way's the only attitude. Sheesh. And I said, you're going to need a new business model. The days of AUM, assets under management, are numbered. Anyway, the point being is they don't have the time. How much time does it take to buy an index fund and look at it every year and take money out? They have busy lives and they want to enjoy life as if it's mutually exclusive that you can't enjoy life and look at your index fund once or twice a year. Yeah, they don't want to. I don't want to, which is why I have index funds. I don't want to. It's boring. Who cares? You're never going to beat the market. Stop this whole idea you're going to beat the market. Just I don't give a rat's fink. So, yeah, I don't want to. Anyone who wants to is setting himself up for failure, man, because you can't beat the market. You just can't. They don't have the only way. All right, let me revisit something. I want to be very, very clear. There is Dan. You want? Hold on a second. Got my man Dan on here. Oh, it's that. Okay, never mind. The same guy. The only way you beat the market is to be concentrated in your portfolio. That is it. There is no way to beat the market with a closeted index fund where you're paying 10 times the fees of the index fund. It's impossible. You cannot beat the market. All right, so can we just admit we don't pay an advisor to beat the market, because beating the market is impossible unless you're going a concentrated route. That's it. There's no other way to do this. And concentrated, we talked, well, let me just bring up another thing here. We're going to look at Vanguard. This is how you beat the market, but it's also how you get smoked too. Let me show you. It's actually quite simple. And when I explain it, you go, oh yeah, that makes sense. So you're not hiring an advisor to beat the market unless he's doing a concentrated portfolio. I cannot be clear enough on this. I hope that makes sense. So we're going to look at, I'm going to Vanguard here. All right. I just wish people would realize this. You're not going to beat the market with a professional advisor who you're paying 1% a year. I'm sorry, you're not. All right, so let's find VDIGX. All right, VDIGX. If you want to beat the market, this is how you do it. All right, I'm going to share with you. I own this fund as a disclosure. I own this. Not a big portfolio position in it, but I have it's one of my holdings. What we're going to do here? We're going to go down to right here. Can you all see the number of stocks holdings? 41. That's it. That's the only way you can beat the market, by having a concentrated position. Because if any of those stocks take off like a bat out of hell, you'll beat the market. Conversely, if any of those stocks get smoked, I don't know what the opposite of a bat out of hell is, you're going to get smoked by the market. There's no other way. You cannot beat the market with a closeted index fund that charges you 10 to 15% of the index. You can't. So anyway, and this is a great fund. I'm a big fan, first time, long time. You should buy it. I own it. You shouldn't buy it because I said it. You should buy it because you want a dividend growth fund that's actively managed. And for Vanguard expense, it's higher than most Vanguard index funds. Still pretty cheap. Wellington runs it, and it's only got 41 stocks in there, man. 41. I don't even know what the holdings are. United Health, American Express, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola. Anyway, so there you go. That is one of my holdings. I can't stress this enough. So if we can agree, which I would, hopefully you can, because you're wrong if you don't agree with me, that you can't beat the market with an advisor who's basically a closeted index fund, then what's the point of an advisor? Now, if the point of his advisor is tax planning, well, that's great. That's freaking awesome. Is that truly what the advisor is doing for you? Or is he just saying you got to talk to your tax advisor? Most advisors say talk to your tax advisor. And I don't mean tax planning like they're filling. My wife does literally tax returns. I don't mean that. I'm saying tax strategies. If your advisor is doing that, maybe that's worth the fee. I get it. If your advisor is saying, no, you got to talk to your tax advisor, not worth the fee. Estate discussions. Is your advisor talking about estate? Again, not drawing up wills of trust, but just having a discussion on a regular basis to make sure your stuff's in good order, i.e., who does what? Successor trustees, executor, durable power of attorneys. Okay, maybe it's worth it. If he's not doing that, you need to talk to your estate planning attorney. That advisor isn't worth it. He's just not, because he's not going to beat the market. You're going to underperform the market. You're not getting other services. If it's devising a retirement planning strategy, i.e., how much can you pull out on a regular basis? I don't think that's worth 1% a year. Let's just use the old 4% rule and take our trusty thing here. We're going to say, if I'm using a 4% rule, right, that's what I'm getting, a 4%, and my advisor is charging me 1%, my 4% rule has just gone up by 25%. It's now a 5% rule because 1% of not of my distributions, mind you, but 1% of my entire portfolio is going to this guy. So I'm pulling 4% of my entire portfolio out. I'm actually pulling 5% of my entire portfolio out. 1% to him, 4% to me. Doesn't seem like a fair deal. Oh, by the way, but my advisor, we only make money. Oh, wait a second. We do well when you do well. All right, so you're saying when the markets don't do well, you don't do well either? Well, we still do well. We just do less well. Less well is what they say. It's all fake stuff, man. All fake news. So anyway, the point being is, if your advisor isn't doing financial advising, and his only freaking game in town is to beat the markets or, heaven forbid, tax loss harvesting, oh, for the love of the good Lord, I don't know. It's not worth it. It's not. There's nothing there. Now, if your advisor is doing that stuff, maybe I would challenge why you would pay him an asset under management fee, but maybe. But yeah. All right. Jill says, make sure you have cash or fixed safe bucket for 2 to 5 years. I cannot, this 100%. 100%. Do you think 4 years of expenses can work for your cash bucket? Yeah, no. I'm not a fan of that, JJ. I'm not a fan of 4 years of living expenses in Wellesley. That's taking a gamble that I would not take. Would I be comfortable if someone said I had 2 years of cash, 2 years of Wellesley, and the rest in VTI? Probably, but 4 years of Wellesley, no, that's not a gamble. I could not make that recommendation. Ooh, John Justice. I saw. Ooh, my wife sent me. Oh man, Worcester. Hey, we got another Worcester guy here, man. We got all kinds. So check this out. Now this made my heart melt. My man John Joseph. Anyone know who John Joseph is? Anyway, so I was stunned to read this. I say So here is John Joseph from a band called the Cro-Mags, who I got to see in '87 at the East Side Club in DC or the Hung Jury in DC, and it was the best thing that ever happened. It was like you got destroyed. You were dancing, stage dive, the whole thing. I had freaking bloody nose, black eyes, bruised up. It was the best thing that ever happened. Anyway, he says, I guess they did a show, the Cro-Mags did in Tompkins Square Park, where the hell that is in New York. He says, if you disagree, stay the F home and watch CNN. Oh, that made me happy. He could give an F less about those who disagree, and that they could stay home and watch CNN. It was filled that day. Anyone who knows Tompkins Square Park knows on a 70-degree day there are huge crowds. We cannot control how many people attended the show. We decided to take a stand and open back up our stages and our way of life. Just because you don't agree with it, I could give an F less. That's awesome. And I love it too. Here's New York, and there's a lot, you can't see it here, but lots of people without masks in New York City. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. God is good always. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think we got a frost warning tonight, Jill. I bet I forgot your friend's name who I interviewed. I forgot her name, but I bet she's like, I got all my plants in. Tonight it's going to get down to 45. So I got 3 years living expenses with advice from Josh, man. Right on. Garling's up about a foot now. Damn, dude. That's fantastic. I got some super sweet 100s back there and some Sun Gold cherry tomatoes. Oh, I cannot wait to tear those things up. I just got done. I got some kale and for microgreens, and I got this big old 20 by 10 thing. I just go in there and go, how, like a cow. How? No, man, I love kale. Microgreens aren't that good. Kale is about this high is flipping awesome. I know kale gets a bad rap because everyone thinks it's like soy boy stuff. If you get some young kale, the microgreens is okay. It's got a little bit of flavor to it, not that great. But if you can get the kale that's like about probably a foot to a foot and a half, maybe 2 feet high, that is good eating. I don't care when that tastes good. It's a good plant. Oh, I love that, man. I got kale growing all over the place. I love it. Jake, you're in western Mass, right? When you talk about Roth conversions Jake, you planned your car probably back in November, right? Anyway, so Gene says, when you talk about Roth conversions, how is that done? Do you need to first roll over to an IRA? You don't need to, but I would, Gene. Going from a 401k, it's just a pain, man. Just roll it all over to an IRA. Now you're in control of it, and then you start, piecemealing. I'll do a 50,000 Roth conversion this year, a 50,000 Roth conversion next year. In Vanguard, you can do it all electronically. I'm sure Schwab you can too. Schwab just say, click, done. That easy as pie. You want tax withheld? No, done. You see what I'm saying? You'll get a 1099 at the end of the year that said you did a Roth conversion, and you are golden. Hey, my wife is right on. All right. Cool. So my wife gave me a thumbs up on Facebook, so I'm not sure if I'm on there or not. I actually got 3 people watching on Facebook right now, so that's cool, man. I'm not sure who it is, but 3 people. So that's 3 people who previous might not have watched. So that's fantastic. Could I elaborate why you should remove more than the RMD? I talk about my book, the tax bomb in your retirement accounts. At some point, someone's paying tax on that money, man. And if you're married filing jointly and you have a $5,000 RMD, if you only take $5,000, next year you have $5,500. Next year you have $6,000. The following year you have $8,000, and so on, because it progressively gets more the older you get. Sadly, the older you get, the more likely you are to be a single person as well. And as such, you're going to leave your wife a big RMD tax bomb, what I call the widow's tax trap. And of course, once your kids inherit that money, they have to pay income tax on it as well. So pay the tax now, or you're married filing jointly. Look, every situation is contingent. I'm telling you. I would say more than half the clients I have, I do not recommend Roth conversions. I just don't. All right. And the reason I don't recommend them is because a lot of them are federal employees with pensions, military employees with pensions. And as such, the pension, I don't want to get too deep into it, but they're already in the top of the 12% with just a pension and Social Security alone to the low end of the 22% tax bracket. So to do Roth conversions into a 22% tax bracket, to quote, save taxes, 10, 15, 20 years from now, which are still going to be only in a 22% tax bracket, isn't a very good trade-off in my opinion. On the other hand, if you're retired from a private company with no pension, the first basically 10 years before you take your Social Security, that's gung ho, because you really got no income. You got no pension. The only income you have is from taking distributions from your accounts. And then you can really start doing Roth conversions, because you need money, to live on. But even that depends on how much you need to live on. It's all contingent. But at the end of the day, what happens here is we say, okay, I'm 60 years old. I got $1 million in my IRA. If I don't do anything by the time I'm 70, that could be worth $2 million. And my mandatory distributions could be $85,000, $90,000, $100,000. Maybe I should start doing Roth conversions to eliminate that $1 million. And so that way it's basically zeroed out by the time I get to when I am at 70. So I need $100,000 to live on. All right. Well, I take $50,000 from my 401k to live on, and I take $50,000 and put into a Roth conversion. I do that next 10 years. I got nothing by the time I'm 70. Take Social Security. I got $500,000 in my Roth, not assuming any growth. Got my Social Security. That's all tax free, tax flipping free, baby. Yay for us. Lynn says, thanks for if only I could go to sleep and wake up with America lovers and controlling the government again. Well, ain't happening anytime soon. So we got to deal with the issue at hand, unfortunately. 2008 is coming again very soon, says Jake. I don't. Yes, it always comes. That's the issue. It always comes. 2008 is always around the corner. And remember, 2008 is just a market decline of pretty significant proportions. We had a small. It's a big, fastest drop in history back last year, and from February 14th roughly to March 23rd, I think. But that came and went in the blink of an eye. So that was no big deal, relatively speaking. But we haven't had, I've said this a million times, we had a small 19.4% decline in Q4 of 2018, 15% decline in May 2015, 12 to 15% decline in July through August of 2011. A couple of times we had small cap and international stocks get down 30% over those past 12 years, but that's it, man. We haven't had nothing really significant. And the longer we wait, the more painful it's going to be. That's just a fact. So, be prepared. Be prepared, be prepared. It's a lesson that must be shared. A lesson that must be shared to be prepared. You know who that is? Anyone who knows that is? Hey, Kim saying she's leaving her crappy old job. Take that crappy old job. Put that in your peace pipe and smoke it, fools. No crash as long as the Fed is propping up everything. Okay, so was the Fed... The idea that the federal government has this much power has always boggled my mind, man. I don't get it. The federal government has enough power to control the capital markets, which are run by millions of individual decisions every single day. How are they propping it up? Buying stocks? Are they buying stocks? Is the federal government buying stocks? I don't think so. Is CalPERS buying stocks? Yes, CalPERS is, I guarantee you. There are some pension funds which are quasi-governmental that are buying stocks. I get it. That is a problem. I'm not going to hide it. The problem is you have CalPERS buying stocks, but they're not buying every stock under the sun, or they're buying the index, but they're certainly not propping up the market. They're buying stocks for their members' money. And so, if the Fed's not buying up stocks, the Fed's, they have loose money. Do they not have loose money in the 2008? When has the Fed ever been freaking strict other than Paul Volcker? It's always been loose, man. All right, which firm should I join to grow as an investor? So was the Fed not propping up in last year? Was the Fed not propping up in 2018? Was the Fed not propping up in 2011, 2015? The list goes on and on. I would start at a bank. I'm telling you, Michael, I would start at a bank. All right, that's where I would start. Everyone says a bank, yeah, because a bank, you learn what everybody and their mom actually goes through. As an advisor, you're only going to learn investments. And very few people in the overall scheme of things have just investments. At a bank, you're going to learn about home equity lines, car loans, all this kind of stuff. And that everyone has that. And you need to be able to talk to people about those things. If you can only talk about, if you don't know what a DDA is, demand deposit account, if you're just a one-trick pony, and there's very few people who have that one trick, i.e. investments, you're going to have a hard time making ends meet. So I was starting a bank for sure. Right. Now I only got 2 people on my Facebook page. Fee only or AUM? I'm not sure what you're saying there, man, because that would be the same for most people. Is Vanguard Wellesley too conservative as a sole fund in a Roth at age 59? Yes, without question. Did I talk about Roth? I just got off work for my crap old job. He means taxable. Okay, now I'm not sure what we're talking about. He means taxable versus taxable. I'm not sure. If you're already paying IRMA and your income goes up for 1 year, does your IRMA payment go up, or does it have to go up for 2 years? It's every year they revisit what your income was from your 1040. So but in theory, they're supposed to adjust it back down once your income goes back down, and they're supposed to. They do mostly, but and the same point, if your income goes up, they'll adjust it upwards for sure. Any advice for families who are saving for retirement for a child who has special needs and will need ongoing support? Life insurance with a special needs trust, absolutely. Life insurance with a special needs trust, without question. And we won't get into all that here, but there's lots of topics on special needs trust and how life insurances can be used to fund that for sure. Should we aggressively? There's my man Rob, another Wista. Should we aggressively convert 600,000 to Roth because taxes are low until 2026? I don't think, our taxes low until 2026. They go from 10, we'll stay at 10, 12, we'll go to 15, 22 to go to 25, 24 to go to 28. Yeah, I don't think that's a huge change. I just don't. So you got, the 22 to 25, if you're converting at 22 and you go into a 25 tax, or if you're converting at 22 and that puts you in a 24% tax bracket, that's not that big of a deal to me. Remember, tax rates are marginal. You just pay the tax rate on the next dollar of earnings. All right. So I've never liked that argument that tax rates are going up in 2026. So let me start paying the tax man now. The issue is the changing tax brackets going from 10 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 33. We want to try to avoid that by and large. Is there a lot of paperwork with constant purchases? Isn't there a lot of paperwork, constant purchases, keeping track for capital gains? Well, I don't know about paperwork. It's all electronically now, but yeah, absolutely. And that's all done in the brokerage firms nowadays anyway. So, it's a very detailed list of your specific share prices, which is pretty cool, actually. Yeah, VBK, small cap growth. That's right. Absolutely. Tom Osborne, Tom something is sitting 100% pure cash because I'm scared like crazy. We're going to have a 30 to 40% correction. Okay. That's again, if we have a guy that's been sitting like that cash, like my man before from the G fund since 2008, your fear has driven you. VTI is my binky. Right on. All right, here we go. So here's Dylan. Dylan says, sorry, if you give your opinion on tax managed mutual fund and a tax. Okay, gotcha. All right. Just get an ETF. You don't need a tax managed mutual fund. Literally VTI is a tax managed ETF because Vanguard has this patent, which is crazy. Awesome. There's literally no capital gains in VTI or VOO, VTV. I own VTI, VTI, VTV, VDIGX, and VBK. Yeah. No capital gains because they're ETFs. None. VDIGX, I have my IRA. And as such, there's no capital gains because the Vanguard, they have some kind of patent where they don't pay capital gains tax on their ETFs. It's freaking awesome. You have a little bit of dividends. Dividends ain't much. I mean, hell, now I don't have millions of dollars. So if I had millions of dollars, the dividends could be much, but I'm far, far, far from that. Then why are we listening to you, Josh? You're not even a millionaire. And you don't have to. I appreciate y'all being here, but you don't have to listen to me. You can listen to me if you want, or you can listen to me and throw freaking eggs at the computer on your end, but it's up to you. But anyway, you don't need a tax managed fund. You just buy an ETF, be done with it. Vanguard ETF. All right. So this isn't funny. If we're using these kind of things to draw attention to ourselves, and I think we are here, we're going to, we're going to ban this guy. But if there is and the reason I think he's not being serious is because he's got that avatar. I don't like when people say crap like that. There are people who kill themselves every day, and it's only going up. I'm not a fan of people making light of people's issues where they feel they can't live another day. And bad on you, sir, if that's you. If that's not you, and then there's suicide prevention things that you really need to be on the horn with for sure, and you should, because you're not the only one dealing with this, brother. I'm telling you, suicide's a big deal, and it's no longer swept under the carpet. It's a big deal, and if there are people out, and I don't have that. I've never been depressed like that. I don't have that. I have anger issues, trust me, and I'm very up and down. I'm I'm emotional guy, and anger, but I'm also high strung. It's the way I am. But I've never been depressed, and I don't know what that'd be like. I find it horrible where people where they feel that there's no hope. I can't imagine what that's like. It sucks. And but for Alcoholics Anonymous, the best thing we ever do in AA, I'm not going to drink right now, one day at a time. Right now, there's no alcohol in this fingers of mine. But Josh, you're not ever going to drink again? I have no idea. I just know right now, I'm not going to drink again. But Josh, you're not going to drink tomorrow night? I have no idea. I just know right now, I'm not going to drink. That's all I can control. That is the best thing you ever learn in Alcoholics Anonymous. For me, the Serenity Prayer was good, but I've always been a believer in the big guy. So that in of itself didn't change me the way one day at a time did. And I'll tell people, I'm using this as part of my story, by the way, my book, my fiction book, where I say one more day. This woman is trying to help people who are on the cusp of taking their own lives. And she goes, just one more day, just survive one more day, because you just don't know what's going to happen the next day. The Holy Spirit's going to talk to you. Something's going to happen. You just don't know, but just survive one more day. Alcoholics, addicts of any sort, just don't do it right now. Just right now. And I know, look, dude, trust me, I know it's like your mind is saying, oh, but okay. But tell you, then what happens if you don't do it right now? You say, okay, whatever, I'm just not going to do it right now. Slowly but surely, that feeling starts to subside. Now, it'll never go away. It's always there. But it starts to subside. And it's not there berating you every hour, every minute of every day. Slowly but surely, it'll start to subside. And it'll always be there. But you just say, right now, I'm not going to do it. And then you focus your attention on something else, and it'll take your mind off it. Now, that desire might come back 5 minutes. Focus on something else. Focus on something else. That's why they have NA, Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous. They have Sex Addicts Anonymous. They have all this stuff, because at some point, if it's just you can't fight the beast on your own. You got to call somebody. But just for right now, don't do it, and focus your attention on something else. Then you'll be like, oh man, okay. And then you're like, it starts to lose its grip. And like anything, a habit forms in 21 days. A bad habit can be broken as well in 21 days. Just try to go just today, this minute, this next 5 minutes, and just keep 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time. Just keep plugging. When you start feeling the call, I know what it's like. It sucks. When you start feeling the call, just put your mind on something else immediately. Say, I'm going to go outside and get in the garden. Go for a walk. A walk is always wonderful, just to get the blood flowing, the fresh air. How come I don't own any international funds? I don't like them. I don't believe in them. I don't like the currency stuff. I don't trust their accounting processes, and I think a lot of the funds I own have international exposure through their trading. So that's why. So Eric's been out. I think he said since Sniffy Joe won. He said market will never crash because he's been out and he's staying out. Harry's dumping Tesla for Dogecoin, whatever the hell it's called. Tim's got 50% S&P, 10 international, 20% stable, 20% fixed income. I got no qualm with that. All right, so for the love of the good Lord, do not put your home in an irrevocable trust. Oh my goodness. Don't do that. Please do not use an irrevocable trust to put your home in there. Please, 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 please don't do that. And do not add your kids on the title. Please do not do that. But irrevocable trust, no, we're not doing that. All right, Jill says her last Roth contributions all going to stock. That's the way to do it, man. My man David, his TSBs invested 50-50 in CNS. All right. Buckeye State says, Jack, can a case be made to own both Wellington and Wellesley? Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Wellington, Wellesley, and a stable value fund for cash buck. Yeah, 100%, Jack. That's essentially a 3-bucket portfolio. So, we got 50,000 in Wellington, 50,000 in Wellesley. At the end of the day, that's going to be 50,000 in bonds, 50,000 in stocks, and a cash bucket of $20,000 for simplicity. That's the epitome of a 3-bucket portfolio. It's great. I got no qualm with that at all. I don't own it. I'm 50 years old. I'm not near retirement. If I was looking at retirement, sure, absolutely. Let's see what we got. Kathy said, Josh, enjoy hearing you every day. I've said you are a member of our family now. Right on, Kathy. Appreciate it. I do like American funds. Yes, man. Yes, sir. Big fan. Big fan first time. View on fighting inflation. I'm not convinced inflation is an issue. I'm not. So I have no view on fighting inflation because I don't follow the view that inflation is imminent. I don't. But don't you see the price of lumber? Yeah, short-term inflation, supply chain stuff, absolutely. We can go through this till I'm blue in the face. I just don't feel like I just did 2 videos on this yesterday. The idea that inflation is imminent, I find to be frankly odd. Again, as always, it goes back to explain Japan. And the explanations of Japan are easily debunked. And then we say in the United States, I'll share with you again. People, for some reason, don't believe this. It's weird to me. All right, so we're going to go back to right here. U.S. birth rate has dropped again. The pandemic may be accelerating the decline. The number of babies born in the U.S. were the lowest since 1979. And before people say, yes, but we're importing our new babies now, the worldwide is having a baby shortage. That is a fact. China, again, is projected to have 750 million people by the end of the century. That's China. All right. There is no countries. You got Indonesia, maybe, Nigeria, and India. But mostly Nigeria and India, the only countries that should have significant growth. And even that growth is waning to some regard. Indonesia as well. But at the end of the day, there's going to be a drain on the population. What causes GDP growth? Consumer spending. What causes consumer spending? Consumers. No consumers, no consumer spending. the idea that inflation is imminent. All you got to do is look to the east and say Japan, an aging economy, demographic, an aging demographic with not enough babies being born per woman is a doomsday scenario for deflation, without question. On top of that, in Japan, the same as here, the debt-based economy that was leading the way since basically after World War II is on its last legs. At some point, people just say, I don't want to borrow anymore. I cannot go bankrupt if I don't have debt, other than unusual circumstances. But if I don't have debt, I can't go bankrupt. And Dave Ramsey, love or believe him, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he's done a wonderful thing for the country by encouraging people to get out of debt. Other people are doing the same. Me too. You get out of debt and you stay out of debt. And actually, that's a God thing, by the way. Debt is spending on things you can't afford, frankly. That's what it means. You're buying stuff today for money you don't have. Now, you can make an argument there's no other way to buy a house. I'll grant you that. But a lot of people have debt that's not for buying houses. It's for funding things that they should not be funding because they don't have the cash flow. And so what they're doing is it's someone on my YouTube channel, a woman, I thought it was one of the best comments I've ever heard. The amount of debt, paying down debt is a huge deflationary construct. It 100% is. Because all debt is you're consuming tomorrow's goods yesterday, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So here I am. I'm buying something today on Amazon with money I don't have. I have this product now, so I'm consuming it. I still have to pay that debt back. So I'm consuming tomorrow's goods yesterday, which means that has already been consumed. And when you have to start paying back debt, that inherently means you're not consuming more. It's just all there is to it, man. And until people start taking on debt spending, again, that A, they have to have a lot of debt paid off, and B, they got to want debt. I think a lot of people are coming to the conclusion, I don't want to live like that. A, I got too much debt as it is. B, once I get out of it, I never want to go back like that again. C, the reason I'm at my crap old job is because I got debt. I can't afford to leave. So anyway, I'm not. See, here's gas, food. I mean, all this is right. It's all up. It doesn't mean we don't have short-term supply shocks. Do people not recognize we had a economy that was literally shut down? I don't. Are we stunned by this? You. All right, if I max out my TSP but still want to invest, yeah, I like VDIGX. I own it. So there you go, man. Big fan. I can reload 9mm for 6 cents a round. I haven't bought 22 ammo in years, but that's crazy. All right. 40 years, right on, Lou. May 25th, 1997. And we're coming up on that. 24 years, right on. Ginnie Mae is the only bond fund I like. That's a VFIIX, the Vanguard Ginnie Mae. Oh, come on, man. Now we're blaming ammo on COVID. Have we not been following the markets on ammunition? Oh boy. Yeah, the S&P sales are international to some extent, 100%. All right, who's Keebler? No capital gains on IRAs. That is true. Jason Whitlock's brother, Dave Whitlock. How many monster drinks did we drink? Huh? Paul says, thanks for the videos. I'm 65. We'll get an employee stock option plan, distribution of 200,000 each in the next 5 years, rolling it into an IRA until I'm 72, or pay the tax on each year and invest it. I don't know what your other income is, but I don't know if you're married. It looks like you are. I can't give you that advice. Hopefully you're able to put 2 and 2 together, what I think you ought to do, but I cannot tell you what to do in that regard. No way. However, I think you get a pretty good gauge of where I'm going with that. if we are buying the inflation story, then cash is a bad idea. Well, maybe, but except for the fact that cash still works when the market goes down. You can pick up stuff on the cheap. 1973 and 1974. I mean, that was inflationary. If you had cash on the side, you could pick up more. I mean, that's where cash is always king. If there's deflation, cash is awesome. If there's inflation, which causes its own issues in the stock market in particular, just look at the 60s and 70s, man. The market did horribly. You can pick up stuff on the cheap with cash. The cash is not as bad. I mean, look, for those of you who think cash is trash, my freaking P.O. box is wide open. Send it to me, baby. Yeah, well, this is the thing. If there's a 40% correction, I'm only down 3% in my fund money account, so who gives a rat's? Well, my thing is, even if there's a 40% correction, let's say you started the year with $100,000. All right, you put in $25,000. I don't have my calculator. You put in $25,000 as just contributions, and now you're ending the year down 40%. All right, so you started the year with $100,000. You put in $25,000 in your 401k, and now you ended the year down 40%. You're still at $75,000. So you're down 25%. And you're still plugging money in. I mean, that's what I don't understand. Why get out? Unless you think you're going to, ooh, thanks. Oh, look at Chloe. There she is. Let's see those new nails. She got her nails done. Woo, pretty green nails. The guy who was doing her nails was hitting on her.
Oh, we don't know about her.
He was hitting on you, Chloe. He's like, Chloe, you got a boyfriend? And Chloe said, boom. How dare you misgender me? Thanks, girl. Actually, the guy was hitting on her. It's kind of funny. Actually, it's interesting because there's an Asian lady owns a store, and there's an Asian kid who's helping the mom. Those are the kind of days we need to bring back, man. Remember the old days? Not just Asians, everybody used to help out in mom and dad's store. You see what I'm saying? Mom and dad used to live above, and the kids would help out. You see what I'm saying? I mean, just man, I'm not saying I don't want to go back to that, but I think in some ways there's a lot of lessons to be learned there about earning your keep, working for a living, seeing your mom and dad struggle, just seeing the day-to-day of being an entrepreneur, what it's like to put food on the table and run a business and pay taxes and pay all that stuff. Anyway, I love hearing stories about, hearing those stories. Like, yeah, I used to sweep, before school, I'd sweep my mom's store out, and after school, I'd come back. And those are great because I think it shows you before people start saying children are lazy, well, they've said that about every generation. They're lazy if they're allowed to be lazy. No other way around that. And look, my kids, trust me, I'm the biggest pushover there is, you know what I'm saying? But I think there's something to be said about children seeing entrepreneurship, economic activity. I really, really do. And contributing to it as well. I think it's great. Anyway, so I thought that's pretty cool. I got an Asian kid, painting his girl's nails and kind of hitting on her. More power to him. I guarantee that guy's going to be successful. I guarantee. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, I saw that, Carl. 7 of the largest 10 billionaires have gotten divorced over the last couple of years. Tim Pool commented, I don't think it has nothing to do with tax issues and market decline. I think it has to do with Jeff Epstein. I really do. I did a video of this today about Melinda Gates not digging Bill Gates' infatuation with old Jeff Epstein. Bezos, I can see pounding around with guys like Jeff Epstein, maybe not him specifically, but I can see that for sure. There's a hedge fund manager that Jeff Epstein knew married Miss Sweden. That guy looked like a piece. He did not look, man. Money. I looked at the picture of this hedge fund manager and this Miss Sweden lady, and that guy just looked like he had a stick so far up his butt that if he were to smile, he would fall over in pain. And I said, that is not a happy life, dude. This guy is not happy. He sold his soul for the devil for money, and now he says, I can't get my soul back, and I have all this money, and does not make me happy. It makes me miserable. Anyway, look, I've been poor. I've not been poor. I'd rather not be poor than poor. But being that kind of wealthy, that sounds like hell on earth, to be honest with you. It does, really does. How do you value a pension for retirement? I get VA pension. My wife will receive a teacher pension. I'm not sure how you value it. You value it by the amount you're getting. Are you looking like a net present value on it? Why would you even need to do that? So I would value the pension by the income it pays me. Fidelity or Vanguard? I like Schwab the best. Schwab is my. Oh, we got some spammers on here. Oh boy, I like Schwab. That's my place. Opinions on I bonds for the cash bucket. I can't remember what liquidity they are. If they're liquid, I can't remember the structure of I bonds. I just can't remember. All right, so I think we got that. What do you think of this strategy? Going in on total U.S. stock market for equities and then adding a total bond index as it gets closer to retirement. Man, freaking awesome. Love it. Just received my first PPM. Is equity investing a bad idea? I don't even know what PPM is. CARES Act goes away. Fed is warning that asshole bubble coming. We got Worcester. Gotta love Josh's ADHD. Okay, I'm not sure where that's coming from. Would I buy? Oh, okay. All right, you're talking something. Gotcha. 60 years old, 5 years till retirement after traditional TSP. Should put contributions in Roth TSP or start cash bucket or taxable small cap growth. I'm maxing out Roth IRA. Man, there's so many things that depends on there, man. Obviously, if you had, I'm assuming you're gonna have a pretty fat pension there with the government, so you probably don't need as much as a cash bucket as others because you're not gonna have that much cash until deficiencies, if that makes sense. I don't think I'd be starting a cash bucket yet, frankly. So I'd do the Roth TSP. I'd wait till about 2 years out, make sure I just have cash, but I think you're too far away from that now. Do you really think people are putting the money into the market? The expense ratio of TSP have gone up recently. They're now 5 basis points, which is actually more expensive. Man, no doubt. BlackRock, 5 basis points at TSP. They're more expensive than Vanguard and Schwab. Isn't that interesting? It's all relative at that low, though. Biden thinks Harris is president. Biden doesn't think. His thinking days are gone. Let's see here. Still in the reserves. Most of my TSP is tax deferred. If I contribute 19.5 to my Roth TSP, can I transfer only that money to my Roth IRA? Whew, when I finally retire? Yes, absolutely. Okay, show me the evidence the Fed has been buying ETFs and stocks. I mean, show it to me. If you can, that's fine. I'm not aware of that. I would like to see the evidence of that. The new money has to go someplace where it not go of stocks and real estate. It literally doesn't have to go someplace. That's the funny thing. It doesn't. Should I accept crypto accepting of a means of selling my car? If you want, I wouldn't, but sure. All right. Yeah, what? Yeah, I did that once. I think I did that once with Zoom. I couldn't figure out how to not have to see everybody. If that made it was kind of weird because I didn't think that people knew. I don't know. I got to figure that out. I think I might have actually. Do you believe in holding international index funds? Okay, again, I just have VTI with it for sure. I don't have any international stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Blink. Hey. Oh, okay. Oh, we already did that. Okay, gotcha. Oops, how do we get out of that? Wait, how do I? Oh, here we go. All right. Only the Japanese have proven the ETF. I don't get that. Love you, Josh. Just joshing you. Will I save taxes if I roll my 401k and pension into a Roth when I retire? Or I still have to pay tax on them. Well, you still pay tax on them. Absolutely. Biden is a puppet. Yeah, Biden is a puppet for the new Green Deal, 100%. My pension is a lump sum or can be rolled into an annuity. Take the lump sum, invest, or annuity. You're gonna have to look at the options there. You gotta look at the options. There's no way I can answer that for sure. And but all right, I love how you share your love for your family. Love these Ask Me Anything streams. I learned so much from you. Thank you. I pray your channel blows up overnight. Whoa, why you want my channel to blow up, Maria? That's sad. Cool. Yeah. Look, I don't want to be. Look, at the end of the day, I get this. Like, I can't believe you don't have more subscribers and stuff. I like it. I mean, that's the thing. Is I like doing this. I don't need. I mean, I like every YouTuber. I check my analytics 1,000 times a day. I had 89,000 views over 2 days, which is the most I've ever had 2 days ago. Now it dropped back down to 63. And you're like, look, man, it makes you feel good. It's a dopamine rush when people are watching it. It makes you feel good. Like, hey, people like this. And it's addictive. But the problem is it is addictive, especially when you see the views go down. You're like, oh, what am I doing wrong? I better, it does make you addicted to what do I do to get those views back up? And that's where you can start, finding, you start like, maybe if I do a video on this, I'll get more views. I don't like when I do that. But it's I'm not gonna lie to you. I think about what would be a good video to draw attention. I do try to pay some attention to my titles though. Titles are I hate to say clickbait. They're not clickbait, but a good title is important. And to read Napoleon Hill's Ways to Influence People or something like that. If you just read his chapters, don't read the chapters, just read how he titles his chapters. You cannot not read the book. It's amazing how he titles those chapters. And if you can title videos in a similar scenario, now the problem is you don't want to do it too much because I do a lot of videos, you know what I'm saying? So if you do it too much, like Wrangler Star, I stopped watching him. I can't believe this happened. Will this be the last time this happens? And you see these, you're like, oh, what's that? And then you're like, oh, I don't like that. And I don't know. People love that content. I don't like that content that much. So if you love the content, you're digging that. For me, it's cool and all, but it doesn't fire me up. So I don't like those. Like, I can't believe this happened, or I don't know. That's too clickbaitish for me. It's a little bit too fake. It draws eyes. I get it. If you want eyes and you want attention, it's an easy way to do it. The top 3 and I do this on occasion, the top 3 reasons to do a Roth conversion, the top 3 reasons to take Social Security early. Those are all good. That's not clickbait as long as you truly talk about the top 3 reasons to take Social Security early. But if you say, I can't believe this happened, and you show your money on fire or something like that, I don't like that. And the channel do what the channel does. I like it. People seem to like me. A lot of people don't like me, and I'm fine with that. They go someplace else. There's so many freaking YouTube channels nowadays. Who gives a rat's butt? But at the end of the day, it's fun for me to do. And that's what I tell people all the time. I say, you need to work on this. I say, I don't have the time. I don't have the desire to make it pretty. I don't have the editing. It's just me, old buddy Josh. And it's cathartic for me. But it is a dopamine hit when you see views go through the roof. It's crazy. It's also amazing too how YouTube. There's no way I can be convinced otherwise. Once you hit certain thresholds, 10,000, I guess, subscribers, 25,000. I don't know that's to be true. I think it's watch time and maybe average view. I don't know. But once you hit certain thresholds, you see an improvement in your metrics. It's weird. I know a lot of people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers who don't get anywhere near the average views I get. So I don't know what to make of that. But you can see like when you get new traffic coming in. And lately I've got a bunch of new traffic coming in. So you can see that. And I'm not sure what's causing that. I'm not doing anything differently, but somehow YouTube is favoring me over some other guy. And it'll change, but it's an interesting dynamic. And, I told a lady yesterday, yeah, my friend Karen, who's going to write a book. I said, you got to get on YouTube. The real estate of YouTube is free and it's wide open. Is available. The real estate and blogging is done. You don't have the resources to compete for that real estate. The real estate on YouTube is still wide open and it is free and it is easy to capture. So if you're trying to establish a business, YouTube is by far and away the best bet, without question. Blogging is not it. Podcasting is not it. It's YouTube, man. I'm just telling you right now. And if you're trying to start a business and you're not on YouTube, you're wrong. But I can't get, if I'm a chick, I can't get prettied up. You don't need to be. My goodness. Just don't have snots hanging from your nose and freaking broccoli hanging from your teeth. You're going to be fine. I don't speak that well in front of camera. Practice. Just get used to it. There's no excuse not having a YouTube channel if you're running a business. You've got to. I'm telling you right now. If you don't, you're making a huge mistake. But I appreciate that, Maria. Grant to retainer. So we talk about grats. I'm not sure why we're talking about grats here, but I know freaking what's the name? Obama's trying to get rid of them. I imagine Sniffy Joe will be too. All right. So Quincy says your channel's grown so much since I started watching. You won't be reading my comments soon. So thanks for all the help. Oh yikes! Is my man Quincy leaving us? No. Let's see. All right. We were debt free, putting in a Four Seasons room and back in debt, 2.37 over 10 years, but we'll knock it out much faster. Right on. All right. So I guess we're getting done here. That's good. Mike says, I'm already maxed out 401k and Roth. Is adding extra 5% in my after-tax 401k a good idea? By the way, where's my office? My office is in my house, and I don't meet clients face-to-face, not because I'm worried about the COVID, but because it's not an efficient use of my time. That's all there is to it. I wouldn't do an after-tax 401k. I just do VTI or bust, baby. VTI or bust. Private placement memorandum. Don't know the first thing about it. All right. My pension is, oh, we got to talk about that. I gotcha. All right. All right. Is it wise to retire at 65 instead of waiting at 66 and a half? $50 is not going to make or break me. Is it wiser to retire at 65 instead of waiting to 66? Well, you can still retire at 65 and just defer taking Social Security to 66 and a half. Those two things definitively are not mutually exclusive. So you can definitely do that. Retire at 65 and wait to take Social Security at 66 and a half. All right. You've covered TSP for military, feds, and police, but I haven't seen one for single. Postal worker for 6 years to go before retirement. Even though I routinely search for retirement topics, I never saw your channel at all until about 3 weeks ago. No doubt your channel will continue to grow. I'm the most trusted person on YouTube. That's DB stands for Josh's mom. You got it, Lynn. Some on YouTube. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. So I was telling my wife the other day, I was showing her a thumbnail because I watch a lot of gardening and farming channels. Hot chicks, just hot chicks and gardening thing. I just think I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, look, I get it. They're appealing. Men like to look at hot chicks. Sue me, and they get lots of views. It works. I still hate it. I hate the fact that women got to show themselves like that to get chicks to get likes on their YouTube channel. I hate it. And then I hate the fact that men feel they got to show hot chicks on their thumbnails to get friggin' clicks on their YouTube channel. I hate that crap, man. It bothers me. It always has bothered me. I don't know why. But I also know there's I trust me, man. As someone who is just men have a an eager eye, if that makes sense, and preying on the weakness of men as visual stimulation isn't good, and that just bothers me. And there's a bunch of YouTube channels like that, and it friggin' pisses me off. Not gonna lie to you. Oh, it's harmless. It's not really harmless. It's not really harmless. That leads to other things that happen, and that's bad, man. And there's a reason why pornography is by far and away like one of the biggest industries in the whole world now. And there's a reason why there's a whole hell of a lot few women having babies and a hell of a lot less marriages. And there's a reason why this is happening. And I share with you a video I did when I was listening to Bridget Fedesi interview some older porn lady, Cherie DeVille or something like that. And it was just sad, man. Not for her. I mean, she was a big girl when she made her choice to go into pornography. I think she's like 32 or something like that. But she has an OnlyFans thing. And she says that her fans don't even want her to show the goods. They just want her to validate that they're alive. I could not think of anything more sad than that. So they basically want to say, whatever her name is, Sherry, something like that. Sherry, I've been watching you for 4 years, and they're paying them. I don't know what they pay, $10 a month. I have no idea. But I just want to say thank you for all you do. And she goes, oh, thank you, bud. And they go, oh, the fact that you acknowledge me, it's sad. And what she was saying is, and this is a porn lady, she goes, it bothers me that I'm in an industry where people's marriage is right here. They're married to me. It's not even me. It's me on the phone. And they don't have relationships or relationship breakup because this is their stimulation. It's freaking sad. Now, I wouldn't ban it. You can't ban. Look, man, you can't legislate morality. But the idea that it's like you're a prude if you acknowledge the fact that men have a huge propensity to fall for this stuff. And now we have legalized gambling. I did a video a thing yesterday where I was kind of poking a little bit at Clay Travis because, like, dude, you're promoting this online gambling. And I get it. A lot of people can do it just fine, but a lot of people can't. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you can do it with a click of a button now. Hell, Amazon shopping, man. We know for a fact a lot of women, but men too, they're addicted to shopping. Just click, done. It's not good. And but the thing that drives me crazy, Doug, is I agree. Look at this hot chick. Oh, they'll draw you to look at it. I'm telling you, it draws me. And so, whoa, hot chick. Not a fool. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like hot chick in short shorts and whatever the things are. We can halter tops, whatever, showing how much onions she can grow. But again, if it wasn't for the demand, there wouldn't be the supply. If you're going to stop the supply, you go after the demand. Same thing with the war on drugs. You don't go after the supply, you go after the demand. Until you get serious about going after the demand, you might as well just legalize everything because you can't go after the supply because the supply will always be there. All right, my friends, I think I'm done. Appreciate you. Oh, wait a sec. What's going on? Blue Collar YouTube. I saw a thing on Blue Collar. I did a video on WEP the other day, Elizabeth. Look at my channel and type WEP in the search engine. I saw a thing on Blue Collar Logic that are they moving him out of California? Is that what I'm seeing? All right. I'm out of here, my friends. Appreciate y'all being here. Mucho gracias. It's 10:04. Go give hugs to your better halves, which I'm about to do if she allows me. All right. We'll see you guys.